is still on him, you know. It appears Brandon has got better. Hadi is, I mean, just as we said last night, he's nice and tight.
He brought the conditioning, but we also talked about off camera when it was over and looked back. Shoulders are a little bit funky. They look a little suspicious.
But guys, I know it's not just a big muscle contest. How do you beat Big Ramy? Look at that. He is massive.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about. Like, you have to have a little bit of everything, not just the mass, which is where Brandon was able to kind of close the door a little bit, or at least close the gap between the two. Now, Lee, you were mentioning about the lower back on Big Ramy. It's not fully developed to your liking. Like, does it need a little bit more down in here? This big area.
Yeah, a little bit. Need a little bit more thickness in that lumbar area, you know. Yeah. But I would say he's better tonight than he was last night.
Yeah, I think across the board.
Yeah.
They all posed really hard yesterday, and they dried out today. They had another 24 hours to dry out. They know what's at stake.
Brandon is holding his own.
We are looking for that knockout punch, though.
But, you know, it's like, okay, what do you choose here, you know? Brandon, nice broad shoulders, nice tapering waist, beautiful package. Big Ramy, size, mass, the reigning Mr. Olympia.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, you have to knock the reigning Mr. Olympia out cold.
Right.
You just can't tiptoe and win him and beat him.
Abdominals and thighs, guys. This is a telltale pose right here. They're all looking good, but
Hadi's got great
sharper.
abdominals. Yeah, Hadi's in shape.
Yeah. He's in shape.
That's his pose.
Yeah. Man, this is a good one.
Great, most muscular for Brandon right there. Hadi's legs, he got some separation in them.
Wow. Man, that's going to be a tough one.
It's really.
Last year, Ramy knocked their socks off from the first pose. It's not happening right now.
You know, I wasn't here last year to see it personally, but the photos blew me away.
I got to say, though,
let's hear it. What do you got to say?
I'm waiting.
Ian's dried up a little bit, you said?
Ian has dried up.
You sure have.
Front double bicep.
Okay, there are.
Yeah, here we go.
I'm drawn to Nick on this pose.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the midsection on Nick, and he hits the double bicep. He's able to flex the abs. But Labrada's hitting that pose a lot nicer.
That's for the amount of mass he's carrying, that's a really artful pose for him.
Yeah.
Really balanced.
I'll tell you, Nick looks great. Him and Hunter both looks great. Butnack has gotten better since last night, too.
Right. I mean, I think across the board, something happened with this lighting. It looks a little bit more brighter.
Wow.
And guys, we talked a lot last night about comparing different eras. But this is just, I mean, Lee, what's this looking like next level, this era, how big and how developed and how balanced some of these guys are?
Well, you know, it's like I said, it's a different era, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. That's the way I see it.
Well, Labrada is beautiful in this pose right here.
He is. Waist tapers very well, shoulders nice and broad. Serratos look good.
Yeah, his calves are nice.
Now, you guys talked about...
That's his father's pose right there, the way he hits it.
Sure is.
You guys talked about Ramy posing smaller. Hunter just kind of shrunk down, and it spread out from the back. It spread out his quad sweep and his hams and really sized him up.
Yeah, I think Bonek's the odd man out right here. He's hitting his quads. They're just not popping like they did last time we saw him.
Yeah, we've seen him much better.
Yeah.
Much better.
He's rounder and fuller, but yeah, we've seen him much better.
That's a great shot for Hunter, too. And Ian.
Yeah, they both have some good, most muscular poses.
Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
Wow. Excellent, excellent.
Mohammed, Rolly, Justin, and Akeem.
All right, now, Akeem Williams, so we're somewhere in that 9.
That's just.
He looks really good.
Yeah, good structure.
This is Justin.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lee?
He looks good.
He's got good shape. Here's where Rolly is a little thick in the midsection. And soft in the hamstrings and glutes. So he knows he's off the mark. Just a little too much to close the gap tonight. But so is Akeem from the back.
Yeah.
And face front.
This is where Rolly needs to be mindful of his waist when he's in between poses to make sure he keeps it flexed.
Exactly.
When you relax and breathe through your stomach, it's not a good look.
No. I mean, from one transition to the next, you got to be at attention.
Yeah.
You can't never relax. Never relax.
And that's another dig on the era, isn't it, Lee? That there's a lot of these very in the deep breaths between poses, a lot of extended, distended out abdomens. And it looks like this crop has really dialed that in with their posing.
That's right.
And not so much when you breathe in heavily through your mouth, you're going to breathe with your stomach,
There you
your
go.
diaphragm.
Hey, and then you got to be in shape, Sean.
Yeah,
you got to be in shape to pose.
Yeah.
I never forget, Joe Weider would have me in his office for like 2 hours at a time. Leap, pull your waist in, flex your back, keep your abs at attention.
Yeah,
Don't let your obliques drop.
He's bringing you to things that you're flexing your back, but you forgot first. Well, Reagan looks really good for a young guy.
James and Reagan switch.
The structure on Reagan is just carrying him, but again, a little bit more size for his height. He's the tallest one out there.
Gentlemen, quarter turn to the right.
He's on the way.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he maintained, good muscle separation as he began to add more muscle size. That's very important.
Right. And again, shape can take you so far. Like Patrick Moore has great shape. Look at how wide the back is. But he's got to put that meat down there on the calves. Got to get those hamstrings a little bit more blown out.
And with the massive gain between seasons, just a touch more conditioning. Because he did put on a good 15, 20 pounds, it looks like.
But he also said he was going to skip the show. So if your mind's telling you one thing and your body's taking you in another direction, you don't always peak at the same time.
He's got a nice package, though. Very nice package.
Hollinghead, he's big, but the midsection is kind of washed out.
Yeah.
Relax. Hassan and James, switch, please.
I like his calves. He's got good calves. This is our big guy. Look at his.
Oh,
those
man.
Side
Wow.
chest.
He just gets a laugh. He's just so thick.
That you guys talked last night about only training one body part a week. I'm looking at those quads thinking they're getting 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, they get so big that he may only be training them once a week.
Back double bicep.
And he's under training them in his mind. But see, a lot of times it's like that, Lee. The muscle will go one place, and what you want in another place, it's hard to put it on. It's hard to put it on the back, but it's all going down to the legs.
I'm telling you, man. That's a science.
Yeah.
It's a science.
Arnold talked about that once, when you're trying to improve the areas that are deficient, but you can't spot gain any more than you can spot reduce.
That's true. I remember Arnold said he used to wear shorts because he knew his calves were weak, and it would remind him to train guys that will be in the final
Your favorite,
round of
most
posing.
muscular. Thank you, gentlemen. Back in line, please.
Yeah, well, they earned the right to be here.
Absolutely.
Remember, Rolf Mueller, the gladiator.
Jockeys these guys around. But who's missing right there, fellas? Nick Walker.
Hottie and Brandon
Missing
switch.
Nick Walker, and you're also missing William Bonek.
Yeah.
Hunter and Rami switch.
This is where Hunter's genetic structure is carrying the day for him.
Exactly.
And I believe
Beautiful
Steve is going to give them an
Gentlemen,
opportunity
spread out,
tonight
need a
that
front
they
double
did not
bicep.
get last night. Having Hunter in there and having Hottie in there is a big sign of giving them a chance to stand with the champions.
Front lat spread.
Full disclosure, I've been a fan of Lee Labrada's for a long time, and I hosted his show this year thanks to Sean. But
Side
you
chest.
think about genetics, You think my dad is Lee Labrada? You got a pretty good structure to build on.
I'm going to give Lee some history right here, Lee. Top 4, there are these 4 guys that have been called out right now. When's the last time we saw at a Mr. Olympia that all 4 had facial hair? Something new.
You know something. They did something new. Never seen that.
Never seen it in all my years.
We had none.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody before us either.
Let's talk about what we're looking at right now. Potentially could be tonight's top 4 finalists. And if that's the case, they're going to have to trade places as well and mix and match. But right now, the back double bicep, Hadi looks really good here.
Sure does.
Hunter looks good.
Yeah. Hunter's holding his own in this lineup, which I knew he would based on his genetic structure.
Yeah. He got beautiful shape.
And he's carrying the sides. He's not being outmasked.
Side tricep.
Hey, I'm looking at Hadi and where he is right now, and I like when they move him around to see how they match up in other directions, not just on the 3 and 4 spot, but in that middle. And he's holding his own.
He is holding his own. I'm a little distracted again. I told you about the shoulders, Lee. What do you see there? They look a little bit swollen.
A little bit odd on both of them.
Yeah, and that's not a good looking body.
Not a good look.
He's conditioned, but I think that might hurt him.
Exactly.
Great vacuum.
Big Rami's abs are coming in.
Yeah, and I think if he just continues to stay on him, they'll come in even more. I don't know that he'll have the time tonight to bring them in more, because when he's relaxed like that, they kind of disappear, where they didn't last year. Brandon's got a great most muscular.
Brandon tearing that most muscular up.
He is.
Woo, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Hunter's improving as he poses.
Oh, yeah.
Hunter and
But
Brandon
I would like
switch.
to see Hunter's chest
Yes.
with a little bit more cross striation, a
Rami
little bit more
and Hadi
complete.
switch.
That is an area that he really got to work on. It's just,
Yeah, we talked last
everything
night.
else is there,
We talked about it last night. When you start to wipe that sweat, he's starting to break out into sweat, right?
Gentlemen, front double
He's
bicep.
moving that around with the oil, so there's still a little film under Hunter Labrada that he's got to be mindful of, because it can go down a notch. I mean, Hadi's in shape. He ain't sweating. Brandon's not sweating.
Oh, that's a good move. That was really smart.
Nice.
Front lat spread.
You see the sweat on Hunter coming across the traps and the shoulders.
Yep.
And the longer he's going to be up there, the worse it's going to get, which means he's holding a slight film of water.
Yeah.
Well, they got watch parties going on right now across the world. Hadi,
Side chest.
and they got him for Big Rami. They got him up in Tennessee for a carbon culture for Brandon. And Hunter, I'm quite certain in Houston right now, that Win the Day gym is lit up with people watching the pay-per-view.
Well, let me tell you something. There's $400,000 in history at stake. If Brandon Curry wins this tonight, he's one of the few guys to lose and recapture the title. That did not happen in your era, Lee. You held the title, you were greedy with the title, and you crushed a lot of the dreams that we had.
I would have loved to have got that $400,000.
Different era.
Woo, baby. Woo.
Now, you see how shiny Hunter Labrada is from the back? This is that subcutaneous water that comes out that you need to get out before you get here.
That's right. Yeah.
The other guys are relatively dry, which means they got rid of a lot of water last night. Hunter's still in the process, and the color will start to get a little bit sloppy there. He can't see his back. But again, that's
So
when
you
you
see
get harder,
Rami.
right?
That's right.
Side
See, Rami is
tricep.
big and dry. Brandon, Hadi, So that's experience.
Yes.
This is something that Hunter has to learn.
He has to learn it.
I had to learn.
Yeah, we all went through it.
We all went through it.
This is the type of sweating you want to do in your hotel room.
That's
and
right.
in the gym, not on the Olympia stage.
Not on Olympia stage.
And Hunter's feeling it now, a combination of nerves. Look who he's standing next to.
Yeah.
He saw these guys
baby.
coming up.
That just struck me just before you said it, Sean. I'm thinking how much excitement is in there right now that's causing some of this sweat when you know you got a legit shot at top 4.
And you're standing next to Mr. Olympia in your first major call-out. A year ago, he wasn't in that top call-out, and here he is.
Back in line,
Be
please.
careful what you wish for.
Wow. Man.
All of these guys.
That was a heck of a showdown there.
I don't want to be a judge.
No.
I don't want to be a judge.
Leave me out of it.
Yeah. This is going to be decided at the end of the night.
Justin, Ian, and Akeem.
He's in the mirror 24/7. I mean, flexing and squeezing.
He's serious. Look at his face.
He's always on point.
Now, we were talking, Lee, about this at the Arnold Classic after Nick won his first Arnold Classic, about the veins underneath the kneecap and coming down, varicose veins.
Right.
Some people were saying that is a major distraction. He should be marked down for it. That looks like something that's genetic.
Yeah, that's part of his genetic, you know. It has nothing to do with the lack of the size of calves.
Right.
You know.
The development of the physique.
Exactly. Just forget about that.
I remember Paul Dillette had him across the chest.
Right.
Gunther Schlierkamp had him down his quadriceps, and he beat Ronnie Coleman, by the way.
That's right.
But what may be a little distraction to someone on the surface has nothing to do with his physicality as a bodybuilder.
Exactly. Exactly.
What I'm really struck
Back
with,
double bicep.
even deep into this call out, is how big the delts have gotten and the width across the shoulders, across the upper chest for all of these guys. They're all so wide and so thick this year.
We're on the biggest stage in history, and they're bumping elbows. Go figure.
Yeah.
The biggest stage in history, we're bumping elbows.
That's right.
And a big paycheck in March, and they can take the rest of the year off.
That's right.
Big turkey dinner and come back to the Arnold.
Yeah, someone, it's ripe for someone. And remember, next year's Mr. Olympia takes place in December. So when this one concludes, they're going to have more than a year before we're gathered again for next year's
Front
Olympia.
double bicep.
That's a great shot for Brandon, and Hunter's right off.
Smart move by Hunter. Makes you look a little flat when you dry off like that.
Hottie's quadrant is so
Quadrant,
shredded.
very good, Hottie's quads.
Yes. Excellent. Excellent.
But in the interest of balance, Hunter's got that balance top to bottom too. And so does Brandon. Brandon really brought up
side chest.
those spots in the upper.
Yeah, when Hottie hits the front lat spread, again, the shoulders kind of, they're funky, man. It's kind of a distraction.
Back double bicep.
Very good pose for Rami on that one. Again, he sits down on it a little bit, make himself look a little smaller. I'd like to see Hunter standing next to Hottie cheaping.
Back lat spread.
Oh, yeah. As they pose.
That's what happens when you pose, right? I mean,
That's right.
the more you pose, the better you're supposed to get. And again, you pose long enough, and you're holding water, you're going to start sweating. Which our rookie over here, Hunter Labrada, is experiencing once again. It came out dry. That water's beating up on the surface. I like that side tricep on Brandon.
Abdominals and thighs.
This is going to be a tough call, guys.
I think Labrada fades in this pose.
Your favorite, most muscular.
This is one of Brandon's favorite
Brandon
poses.
Keeler about
Thank you,
with that
gentlemen.
one.
Back in line. This concludes our
Keeler
confirmation
about it
round.
with that one.
Back to
Now,
you,
Lee
Bob.
Haney.
All right, then
What do you see here from the champ?
I tell you what, man.
If you had to make the call right now, right now.
You try to get me in hot water, Sean.
Make that call, Lee.
I
That's
tell
why
you what,
you're here.
man. Hot is tight, tighter.